On a fateful day in South Auckland, an incident occurred that shook the world and raised questions about the complex relationship between animals and humans, particularly when it comes to their treatment and captivity. This is the tragic story of Dr. Helen Schofield, an experienced zookeeper who was killed by Mila, a 39-year-old African elephant, at the Franklin Zoo and Wildlife Sanctuary. In this video, we will delve deeper into the backgrounds of Dr. Schofield and Mila, the circumstances surrounding the incident, and the ensuing investigation and discussion about safety protocols and training methods at the zoo. Dr. Helen Schofield was a dedicated and passionate zookeeper, working tirelessly to care for the animals at the Franklin Zoo and Wildlife Sanctuary. She was not only a zookeeper, but also a qualified veterinarian with over 25 years of experience, specializing in the care and treatment of large exotic animals. Dr. Schofield was known for her deep compassion and commitment to animal welfare, and she was deeply involved in rescue, rehabilitation, and conservation efforts. She was the owner and director of the Franklin Zoo and Wildlife Sanctuary, where she worked closely with various animals, including Mila. Mila, an African elephant, had spent around 30 years of her life with the Whirling Bros Circus, touring New Zealand before being transferred to the Franklin Zoo in Tuakau in 2009. She had been at the zoo for 2.5 years, and those who worked with her believed she was becoming accustomed to her new habitat and keepers. Mila, also known as Jumbo, was New Zealand's only elephant at the time of the incident. Mila was retired from the circus due to ongoing animal welfare concerns and public pressure to provide her with a better quality of life. She was the last circus elephant in the country, and her retirement marked the end of an era for New Zealand. On the 25th of April, 2012, Dr. Schofield was at the Franklin Zoo, tending to her usual duties and sharing her passion for animals with the visitors. It was a bright and sunny day, and the mood at the zoo was cheerful as families and groups of friends wandered from one exhibit to another, marveling at the various creatures on display. In the early afternoon, Dr. Schofield found herself outside the elephant enclosure with a group of 6 or 7 visitors who were eagerly listening to her speak about Mila. The group was fascinated by the elephant's story, her rescue from the circus, her gradual acclimation to life at the zoo, and the remarkable bond that she had formed with Dr. Schofield. As Dr. Schofield spoke, Mila seemed to take notice of the group and began to move closer to the edge of the enclosure. Sensing an opportunity to give the visitors an even more memorable experience, Dr. Schofield decided to enter the enclosure and give Mila some food, allowing the group to see the elephant up close and personal. At one point, Dr. Schofield entered the enclosure to give Mila some food, and then came out. What happened next would forever change the lives of those who witnessed the incident and put into question the safety protocols and training methods at the zoo. Mila, seemingly spooked by something, moved suddenly towards Dr. Schofield. As the zookeeper backed up and fell near the open gate area, Mila gently wrapped her trunk around her and lifted her up. Onlookers watched in horror as the situation escalated quickly, with the elephant's trunk tightening around Dr. Schofield. Zoo personnel, trained to respond to emergencies, attempted to intervene and de-escalate the situation. Dr. Schofield called for Mila to put her down and tapped her on the head. Mila then went down on her knees, pushing her head and trunk down into the ground and rocking from side to side with Dr. Schofield still in her trunk. Eventually, Mila released Dr. Schofield, who was still alive but gravely injured. The cause of death was later determined to be multiple injuries to her chest and abdomen. In the aftermath of the tragedy, questions were raised about the safety protocols and practices at the zoo. An investigation led by the New Zealand Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry, MAF, found that the zoo's safety systems were inadequate and that there was a lack of appropriate training for staff handling large animals like elephants. Coroner Sarn Herdson concluded that it was probable that Mila had been shocked by an electric fence, and that Dr. Schofield's judgment about the level of risk may have been impaired due to her fatigue from working long hours. The Franklin Zoo was closed down following the incident, and Mila was temporarily placed under the care of the Department of Conservation. The zoo faced public scrutiny over its practices and safety measures, and many called for a review of the standards in animal care facilities. In the wake of the tragedy, Mila's future became a topic of concern. With the Franklin Zoo closed, there was a need to find a suitable environment for Mila, one that could cater to her complex physical, emotional and social needs as an elephant. After lengthy discussions and deliberations, a decision was made to relocate Mila to the San Diego Zoo in California, where she would be able to live with other African elephants in a more natural environment. In November 2013, Mila made the long journey from New Zealand to her new home in the United States, where she was introduced to a herd of African elephants and began the process of socialization and integration. Mila's move to San Diego Zoo marked a new chapter in her life, allowing her to form connections with other elephants and live in a space specifically designed to meet the needs of her species. While Mila's story is tinged with tragedy, her relocation to San Diego Zoo is a testament to the dedication of those who work to provide her with a better life. The tragic incident involving Dr. Helen Schofield and Mila the elephant serves as a stark reminder of the potential dangers that can arise when working with large, powerful animals like elephants. It highlights the need for strict safety protocols, comprehensive training, and a thorough understanding of animal behavior in zoos and wildlife sanctuaries. While zoos serve as educational and conservation institutions, they also force wild animals into confined spaces, often far from their natural habitats. This can lead to various physical and psychological issues for the animals, which can, in turn, result in unforeseen and dangerous situations for zookeepers and visitors alike. In response to the incident, the New Zealand government introduced new regulations to strengthen animal welfare and safety standards in zoos, wildlife parks, and sanctuaries. These regulations focused on ensuring the well-being of both the animals and the people who work with them, emphasizing the importance of adequate training, proper safety measures, and understanding the complex behavior of the animals in their care. Zoos have long been criticized for their practice of holding wild animals in captivity, with opponents arguing that it is inherently unethical to keep animals in artificial environments that cannot replicate the complexity and richness of their natural habitats. Many animals, especially large mammals like elephants, require vast areas to roam and socialize, which zoos simply cannot provide. As a result, animals in captivity often exhibit signs of stress, anxiety, and depression, leading to abnormal behavior and even aggression. On the other hand, zoos and other wildlife institutions play a crucial role in the conservation and protection of endangered species. Through breeding programs, educational initiatives, and public awareness campaigns, zoos contribute to global efforts to preserve biodiversity and maintain healthy ecosystems. They also provide valuable opportunities for research and study, helping scientists better understand the needs and behaviors of various species. The delicate balance between the ethical concerns surrounding animal captivity and the conservation benefits provided by zoos is an ongoing debate. In the wake of tragic incidents such as the one involving Dr. Schofield and Mila the elephant, it becomes increasingly important for zoos to reevaluate their practices, invest in improved enclosures, and prioritize the physical and mental well-being of the animals in their care. We have now come to the end of this video. We hope that this story has shed light on the complexities and challenges of working with large animals like elephants and the ongoing discussions surrounding animal welfare in captivity.